Welcome back to our LEGO Zoo MOC Part 7, and this week I promised something big, and by big I meant the big cats. So today's build we are going to be putting our friend the tiger here into an enclosure. Now, tigers being the biggest of the cat species, it's quite a lot different from the lions and leopards that we get here in Africa. They are much bigger, but they are very majestic animals. Now, the terrain they live in is quite a lot different than what we have here, so we had to put in quite a big jungly area for them, and that meant breaking out all of our plant pieces and flower pieces and lots of greens. Now with this enclosure you can really see where we kind of had to divert from our original plan. This one was actually supposed to be for two different tiger species, and we ended up having to just create it for the one because it was too small. So that tiger will have to come in a different video and later on when we do a little bit of a revamp to the zoo. But we also built an area around the scenic view windows for the tigers, and that has some of the stalls and your like confectionery carts, hot dog carts, those kinds of things. And we plan to fill that area out with quite a lot of minifigures just to give it some life. But to get this friend into a habitat, we first have to build it. So let's get to it. So for the first part, just had to reconfigure some of the terrain there to add the water, and then also set up the front viewing glass panels. Then it was a case of just trying to build out the rest of the enclosure and add some extra viewing sections and also the mural on the one side. Once that was done, tried to add a little bit of a fountain effect for the water there, but decided against using the same blue color just because it did not give the kind of cool flowing effect. So rather took that out and used the translucent pieces. Then started building on the cave. Wanted to try use all the different kinds of angled pieces just to create something that looks a little bit more natural and not that much man-made. And then lastly, just fill it up with plants and pieces and a little bit of rock work and add our tigers to the enclosure. And here finally we've got some big cats in our zoo. Now this section is a spoiler for next week, so that's why it's closed off. But with this one, you can see there's quite a lot of open space here, so we're going to fill that out with minifigures later on. We've got our cart set up, but the tiger enclosure gave me quite a bit of trouble to build. It was still fun in the end, and I think it turned out really well, but let me just show you why I had so much trouble. So this one is built onto two base plates. Now, just a little bit of advice. I think don't do that if you're trying to replicate something like this as well or build it. It just makes it easier. But you can see here where the water connects, we had to drop that one down, but that also meant that I couldn't drop the water down as far as I wanted to because we still needed the connection point between them. And then also the cave for our tigers. Now that one is also built across both of these plates here, and I quite a few times connected them up, and that caused quite a bit of issue when trying to pull the plates apart or just trying to fix it up. But at the end, we've got something here on the board. So let's just go a little bit closer and take a look at all the details. Now for the tiger enclosure itself, we added that map piece that you got with the jungle sets at the front. And then it's got also a lot of this window paneling here for guests to be able to view the tigers. On the inside, we've got one of the tigers looking at the guests, and then the other one drinking here. So what we did is we also created this very cool fountain coming out from the back of the mural, and tried to create like a little bit more realistic of water flowing there. Then a lot of this enclosure also has quite a lot of plants and these red flowers just to give it a little bit of a splash of color. Then we've got a butterfly even in there, and we've got the cave for them to sleep in. Then here at the back, we've also got some glass paneling for the guests to see them from the catwalk side, but we'll go closer on that in next week's video. All right, so let's just connect these back up, and then it goes back into the zoo. And that does it for today's part of the zoo. Now, the section we did cover up is a little bit of a spoiler for what we're going to be heading towards next week, and even the tigers. That's kind of the trend we're heading towards. But like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and comment below which of the animals do you think it is, and then we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.